Heyo, Omnidogs and Omnikittens. This is Omnidog here with a review and overview of Harley Quinn Eat, Bang, Kill Tour and Legion of Bats, the latest. And as always, please remember organic price books using my code $2 off with code Omnidog and big savings, 5% off shipping 3 or more books together with code Omnidog. Ship it together. And yes, I use my own code. Okay, now the first one takes place after season 2, between season 2 and season 3, and this one takes place between season 3 and season 4. They're animated. It's in the style of the animation, and with the continuing cast of characters, only with a little more story added. Let's go over the first one, but let me just say they're better together, because Legion of Bats sort of informs and makes better the Eat, Bang, Kill Tour. I'll show you what I mean. Let's see what's going on underneath. Yoink! There we are. And it's written in the humorous style of the animated series, which is so great. And now, my friend Bar, my Israeli correspondent, she and I were talking about this earlier, a couple of weeks ago, and she brings up a good point, and kind of the reason I wasn't all that thrilled with this book by itself, and why it's better with this book. It's a little one-dimensional in that that's really Eat, Bang, Kill. That's real. All they do really, Harley and Ivy, is fight and make out in this book. There's not a lot of character development. It's mostly they do a lot of fighting and making out, and they're dealing with a lot of their feelings for each other. Ivy is having issues that she has to deal with, but it's fine, except that I did feel like it was slightly just two things going on, fighting and making out. Which if that's your relationship, you go for it. It's fine with me. I found it to be, a little. It was fun and funny. But this was also my first introduction to Vixen. I hadn't seen her before, so it was kind of out of context for me that Vixen and her, that's the TV show host, but Vixen is with her partner in this. See, here's Vixen. I really didn't know much about Vixen, and I'll get to that in the second book. And they do have adventures, and they're very fun. There's lots of eating, banging, killing, and so forth. But one thing I didn't get was I was not that familiar with Vixen. I think I've said this before, but so here we go. This is the first book. Okay, so Frank's in there. So yeah, everybody from the animated series is in this, but it is a little two-dimensional out of several dimensions possible. So that's the Eat, Bang, Kill Tour. They're better together, I think. This has been my experience. This is Legion of Bats, Volume 2, and this is after season number 3. That's a cool illustration. It's also much thicker, lots more material. One thing that happens in this book is you get a lot more characterization, character development. You get more Vixen. Vixen's completely explained to me now. I understand her better. She's a major part of the She's a major she's a major part of the series. And now Tawny talks. She's the the co-host. I mean, she's the hostess of this Oprah type show. And there are several writers in this book with features which feature these characters. There's one story in particular that I really liked, which was about Vixen and her significant other. So we'll go through this. So, okay, well, it starts off with Vixen and her significant other. And so we learn a lot more about Vixen. And Harley and Ivy do a lot more than just make out and fight. They go on shopping sprees. They have all kinds of fun together. They go out to dinner with Vixen and her partner, whose name is Elle. This is interesting because her partner is disabled and deals with significant pain. And as a lot of you know, I also deal with a lot of pain. So I finally have representation in comics as a pain sufferer, ignoring the other 80 plus years of white men that have represented me. Okay, but pain sufferer. So that's interesting because Ivy comes up with a pain bouquet, chronic pain bouquet of herbs and things that will help Elle, Vixen's partner, with her chronic pain. I wish there was an Ivy in my life, like Poison Ivy. Not my wife. She does what she can, but you know what I mean. This ties in a little bit to what happened in the Eat Bang Kill tour. So Eat Bang Kill tour gets better in my memory as we get better character development in this book, and we get more characters introduced that are fun, and there's a lot going on in the Tawny Talks show that's sort of a bouncing off point for everything. There's Batgirl in Identity Crisis, Jazzapaziza's Gotham Cleanup. She's like a hacker in this. She's a very good coder, and this actually is a pretty good story where she has to, for part of her final exam, go in and find the holes in Wayne Corp's security system. But she also runs into somebody while she's doing that who's up to no good. And this person has been exploiting Wayne Corp for their own purposes. And it's how she solves it as a coder is very interesting. I found it to be a lot of fun. Clayface and Showtime. Okay, these are the only two books where I have ever, in my mind, been reading them with the voices not of my own head, but from the show. So Clayface is always in my mind, his own voice from the show, and same with King Shark, who's involved, and same, of course, same with Harley and Ivy. But I loved it that Clayface was in my mind with his word bubbles and thoughts and stuff. I thought that was great. And here he deals with his daughter. Yeah, he has a daughter. And then we have Dr. Psycho, who's married to Giganta, but they're having issues dealing with their son. He's not a very good husband. He's not a very good parent. He's not a very good person. And so his son comes to spend the weekend with him, and he and Joker and King Shark get trapped in a mind nightmare. And it's fun to find out who's in charge. And I am now doing the voice in my head of the Joker, because there's a special Joker story where there's what? There's an extra Joker. Who does he represent? Well, you're going to have to read it to find out, but I found it to be a good story too. And this sort of takes place right at the end of season 3, where Harley has decided she's going to be on the side of good, and of course we have Poison Ivy, who's trying to recruit an all-female powerhouse Legion of Doom, and they have who they want for it. And yeah, there is a significant amount of making out for it, but they want to be the Ladies of Doom, and that's so cool. Yeah, there's a lot of making out in this, and I don't care. There is in animated series too, and it's cool. Let's see, the story's good too. Oh yeah, they're still recruiting people. They're still recruiting people for the Legion of Doom. Knockout is one of them. Still recruiting. So this book helps make the first book better, because this book in general is a lot of fun. It's a lot better. It's deeper. Of course, I remember Damien and Nightwing's voices too. It's deeper and better constructed as far as the writing goes. The art is fine as usual. There's a bit more story here to it, which helps make, because I had to go back. I found out that reading this by itself, I was a little bit lost. I had to go back to Eat Bang Kill Tour to inform parts of this, and that's why I think they're best read together. It makes Eat Bang Kill Tour better, and it informs Legion of Bats just that much more, and you'll be able to understand it a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot of swear words, as there is in the show. But I found this book to be really well done, and I found them both together to be a fun experience that now makes me realize that I haven't even watched season 4 yet, and it's been out. What am I doing? And well, of course, I got to watch Ted Lasso, so I know who the guy is in the Valentine's Day specials, so I got to do that too. Yeah, I got a lot of things to do. So there's variant cover gallery, and they're a lot of fun. And this is a crack up. So I recommend both these books together. I think that you really shouldn't read one without the other. If you're interested in Legion of Bats, you need to read this first and then just blast right into this one, because they are kind of better together, if that makes sense. I found them to be a much more enjoyable experience if I read both of them together. Whereas Volume 2 is the better book. Volume 1 sort of tees it up, sets it up for Volume 2, and they're more fun read together. So that's my advice. If you're a Harley Quinn animated series fan, I think you'll dig these books. I know I dug them, and I would not recommend anything Harley Quinn that I didn't read myself and enjoy, and I think you will too. So peace and love for Harley Quinn, Eat Bang Kill Tour, and Legion of Bats. And now I'm going to go try to watch some of the animated series, which I just remembered. Peace and love, peace and love. Take care, be good to each other out there, and thank you for watching Omnidog's Vault. Omnidogs_vault on Instagram, and I have a Discord, Omnidogs Vault's Discord or something. You'll find it. It's cool.